home of champions.
It's not an emergency, but it is an event every time the big man takes the mound, and he will start for the Yankees tonight on a beautiful Tuesday evening in New York City. The Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the world champion New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees lost the first game of the series. They've now lost 2 in a row. Now, when you have a losing streak of any kind, you want CC Sabathia on the mound if you're the Yankees. So let's take a look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Jake Arrieta is going to go for the Orioles. The youngster, 4-6, 5.11. And Sabathia, 19-5 with a 3.02. And last time out against the A's, Kenny, I don't know if he's ever been much better. Well,
CC's been great of late. He's won his last 6 starts, including the last one against the Oakland A's, right here at Yankee Stadium, where he has been spotless this year. CC in 8 strong innings against the A's gave up 1 measly hit. The Yankees, of course, went on to win the ball game. CC Sabathia has been on his game at the stadium this season. You've got to take a look at the numbers. They're silly numbers. They're sick numbers. 19 wins, that leads baseball. Last 21 home starts dating back to last year, 16-0, 2.05. Career against the Orioles, 18 starts, just 13-1, 2.59. And in his last 6 starts, you can't be much better, 6-0 with a 2.42 ERA. Tonight, he'll try to win his 20th game, something he's never done before. Now, Alex Rodriguez did something yesterday that's never been done before in Major League history. Picked up 100 RBIs in his 14th season. We'll hear from Alex next when we return on segment 2. Back, Kenny, and he looks pretty good. Yeah, back and doing what A-Rod does. And a good sign here on Sunday, beating out the infield hit. No sign of the calf strain bothering him. Followed that with a base hit. And then yesterday, a long home run over the bullpen and then a sac fly to drive in 2 runs. He now has 100 RBIs for the season.
Significant? I've got some. 100 RBIs this season. Tied for 3rd most in the majors. 14 seasons with 100 or more ribbies. That's the most all time. And 13 consecutive seasons with 100 or more RBIs, tied for most all time with Jimmy Fox and Lou Gehrig. That is amazing stuff. Jack Curry caught up with Alex Rodriguez and asked him the significance of this achievement.
For me, Jack, it's all about trying to be consistent year in and year out. Is what we preach to our young players and Robbie Cano and some of our other guys is try to go out there and be as consistent as you can and try to help the team win. It's
an amazing number. It just shows you how consistent he has been, how healthy he has been in his career to be able to do something like that. He came up at a very young age and was productive very early on. It's a pretty amazing feat.
Is he in the lineup? Well, stick around and find out. Lineups, first pitch, baseball. Should be an hell of a game next on Yes. Yes, is brought to you in part by Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with a guaranteed delivery of 3 days or less. By Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. Crowd still filing into Yankee Stadium on this Tuesday evening. Maybe they're just surprised there's a night game going on. 5 straight day games and now finally a night game, but tomorrow another day game. CC is warming up. Let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Orioles won yesterday, and because of Brian Roberts, he got 2 big hits. The second baseman leads off. Felix P.A., the left fielder, will bat second. Batting third and playing right field, Nick Markakis. Ty Wigginton, first baseman, cleans up. Batting fifth and playing center field, Adam Jones. Nolan Reimold, the DH, will bat sixth. Batting seventh and catching Craig Tatum. Robert Andino, the shortstop, hits eighth. And batting ninth and playing third base is Josh Bell.
CC Sabathia has finished his warm-up tosses. He'll be on the mound tonight for the Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles. CC is 4-0 against the Orioles this year, and he's never gone less than 7 innings in any one of those 4 starts. His season numbers, you can see 19-5, 3.02 ERA. They're all very good. Here's our scouting report. 19 wins. He has never won 20, so he's going into uncharted waters with a victory tonight. Trying to win his 7th straight start. And Tommy John and Herb Pennock and CC, the only 3 Yankees who won at least 19 games in their first 2 years with the ball club.
Let's do it here in the Bronx as Sabathia deals and strike, and we are underway. First batter of the game against CC this year, 4 for 26. That's a 154 batting average. Always a good idea to get the first guy out. Roberts had 3 hits and 5 at bats, but 2 of them were very big. That one is lofted into center field, and that's going to dunk in front of Granderson for a base hit. So Roberts continues to hurt the Yankees. 4 hits in 1+ games.
Yeah, broken bat single into center field. He dunks one in there. That will go down a hero. Yeah, Roberts was the main culprit in yesterday's game. He had 2 out runs batted in, including the game winner. against the Yankees.
Here's Felix PA. PA yesterday was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Pitch is inside.
Yeah, there was a time when PA would be not in there against left-handers, but he has really come on since coming off the disabled list, and now Buck Showalter feels confidence in this young man to play in the outfield against a left-handed pitcher, the likes of CC Sabathia.
Grounded foul. Just the third time this year that PA is batting in the 2-hole, and 2 of them have come in this series.
There is the Oriole manager, 20-13 since Buck took over. Orioles playing some great baseball.
Robert certainly makes the Orioles a different team. You know, this is a team that didn't have a leadoff hitter when he was out in the bad back. And he is their igniter.
That back is still not 100%. It still bothers him to a certain extent, but he is in there. He's only played in 42 games this year. And you can imagine, here's a guy who had 56 doubles last year. Set a record for Major League switch hitters. Also capable of stealing bases. Usually around the 30 steal mark each and every season. Scores 100 runs, but sorely missed at the beginning of the year.
Derek Jeter positively called him a pain. That one gets away from Posada as Roberts will meet the guy who calls him a pain at second base.
Let's see what this looks like. This might be a pass ball. Off the glove of Posada. It's going to allow Roberts to move down to second base. Here's off the glove, and Roberts easily will move down to second.
And they do give a pass ball on that. PA fouls it off. How important is Roberts to this team? Well, first of all, they're 52-86. So that means they're 34 games under 500. Roberts has played 42 games. In the 42 games, the Orioles are 21-21. And that's what he's done the last 5 seasons, and that's what they missed. That was what was out of the lineup.
Could have stolen base totals. And, twice over 50 doubles. 4 times over 40.
Count 3-2 to PA.
Sometimes for pitchers, the first inning is a settling in inning where you're trying to get your rhythm after warming up in the bullpen. The bullpen mound a little different than the mound at the stadium.
Missed outside, so PA walks. Rocky beginning here for CC Sabathia. A bloop single and then a walk. That's going to bring up Markakis.
Let's see what happens with CC on this lead. A little bit of a slide there. You can see that this lead foot, his landing foot, the right foot didn't grip. And the pitch was low and away. Missed the strike zone.
Nick Markakis, 9 homers and 50 ribbies. They moved him around the lineup, but now Showalter settled him into the number 3 spot. Line drive to left field. It's a base hit. Gardner charges, comes up throwing. They'll hold Roberts at third. The throw is cut off by Pena. And boy, the Orioles are set up. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the first.
Maybe the league is starting to get on to the Yankee left fielder Brett Gardner and his ability to throw people out. So they're going to safety first. Didn't even try to send Roberts, who has good speed. Markakis, a good hitter against left-handed pitching for a left-handed hitter. And the stop sign was on and flashing.
So here's Ty Wigginton, lone All-Star representative for the Orioles in the All-Star game. You heard Jack Curry say that Buck Showalter said he told his guys to look for a changeup. CC uses that changeup really effectively, and it's a big part of his game. And Wigginton seems to do okay against Sabathia at 10 for 36. Popped up, shallow center, coming on Granderson. He can't get there. The ball's going to be fielded by Swisher. The run scores. Runners move up. It's a bloop single by Wigginton, and it's 1-0 Orioles. And they have not exactly scalded the ball here.
Another bloop off the end of the bat, which leads you to believe it's a changeup that Wigginton got just enough of to drive in the run. And I believe that, yep, it was a change. It was up a little bit. Off the end of the bat. Falls into no man's land in right center field. As the runners move up 90 feet.
So here's Adam Jones. He didn't play yesterday. In the lineup today.
He is shaking off the effects of being hit in the middle of the back by Gavin Floyd of the Chicago White Sox. That had him on the shelf for a few days.
Pitch outside.
Well, maybe not in the middle of the back, maybe in the left shoulder. And he had to have a cortisone shot to try and relieve the pain.
Count 2-0.
CC's not zeroed in on the strike zone as of yet.
Not too bad against Sabathia. 6 for 21, one of the 6 home runs. Now, as great as CC has been of late, he has allowed first inning runs in 3 of his last 5 starts. And that doesn't count tonight. Hot shot, base hit to left field. Scoring is PA. They're waving home Markakis. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's safe. A 2-run single for Jones. And the Orioles lead 3-0.
This time, third base coach Gary Allenson took a chance, and he's going to send Markakis on the hot shot off the bat of Adam Jones. See Markakis just about the third base as Gardner picks the ball up. Now the throw is in time, but it's a short hop to Posada. He can't handle the hop, and the run will score. That's a tough play for a catcher. The ball off the thumb of his glove. Doesn't handle it. We see it on Yesmo as Markakis scores the 3rd run.
Well, that's a tough play for Gardner to absorb because the throw beat Markakis by about 10 feet.
Yep, they're in plenty of time, but cannot be handled on the short hop by Posada.
And you can see Markakis slid right into the shin guard of Posada. Posada had the plate blocked. He just didn't have the ball. Still nobody out, first and second. And here's Nolan Reimold. Off speed inside, 1-0.
Usually you see CC peppering the strike zone. He's fallen behind on several of the hitters here in this inning. Reimold has spent most of the year in AAA.
There's that changeup.
Started the year with the Orioles recovering from Achilles heel surgery. Got off to a very slow start, went to the minors, got off to a slow start at AAA, then started to come on and got called up here in September.
The 1-1. There's a strike. Just nipped the inside corner, 1-2. So odd to see Sabathia struggling, and even odder against the Orioles. 13-1, 2.59 lifetime. One-two inside. The last 8 games he's had against the O's, 8-0, 2.11. Those are his last 8 starts. Two pitch. Lofted to left field. Gardner is there. He'll make the play. Tagging is Wigginton. Just draws the throw. Gardner's going to have a sore arm by the end of this inning. One away.
It's like he's pitching.
Here's Craig Tatum, the catcher. The seventh batter comes to the plate for the O's.
He is the backup to Matt Wieters, and known as a good, solid defensive catcher with good throwing arm.
Fouled off in front of the plate.
Crowd is kind of hushed. We're not used to seeing this.
Neither is Girardi. The 0-1 from CC. 0-2.
Good breaking ball down and in.
Bloop single by Roberts started it. A walk to PA. Line drive single to left by Markakis. Bloop RBI single by Wigginton. And then a hard single through the left side to drive in 2 by Adam Jones. That's where we are right now. First and second with 1 out. Tatum at the plate. 0-2 count. And he goes down on strikes on the change.
Well, Buck Showalter said, watch out for the changeup, and that is a good one. Good movement on it, down and away. We're going to see it on Yesmo. You can see the grip. CC Sabathia taught his changeup, his vaunted changeup, by pitching coach of the Cleveland Indians back in the day when the CC was there, Dick Pole.
Here's Robert Andino. There's a strike. Now, this is the first time that CC has allowed 3 runs in an inning since the 4th inning of his June 15th start. That was against the Phillies. That's what Andino did at AAA Norfolk. Pretty good year. 13 homers and 76 ribbies.
Giving Cesar Izturis a night off. Andino can play second, sure. The Orioles got him from the Florida Marlins.
The 0-2. That one is driven deep to left field. Gardner back, still back, rights himself and makes the play. Boy, did he see a lot of action out there. Sabathia gives up 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Orioles 3, and the Yankees coming to bat. Let's see what the Yankees are going to do. Their starting lineup is presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner's in left field. He'll lead off. Batting second, the captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter. Bart Teixeira at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing second base, Robinson Cano. A-Rod just has the night off. Nick Swisher's in right field, batting fifth. Batting sixth and DHing, Lance Berkman. Jorge Posada will catch. He'll bat seventh. the number 8 hitter, the center fielder Curtis Granderson, and Ramiro Pena, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
Getting to start for the Orioles tonight, another one of their young guns. It's 24-year-old Jake Arrieta. And his numbers, this will be his 17th start, 4-6, 5.11. More than a hit per inning. More walks than strikeouts. It's been a problem for him. Pitch count. Opponent sitting 272. Here's our scouting report on young Mr. Arrieta. Sparkling debut. You go back to his major league debut on June the 10th at Camden Yards against the New York Yankees, and he won that ball game. He's only had one victory in his last 9 starts. That came in at Cleveland against the Indians, and he's got interesting splits, and that's why I think Joe Girardi has loaded up his lineup with left-handed hitters. Right-handed batters hitting just .216 against Arrieta, but the left-handed batters are hitting .318 against him.
Well, here's a lefty batter to start it off, and that is Brett Gardner. Gardner had a streak of 10 straight games with a walk snapped yesterday. Try to start another one tonight as he takes a pitch inside 1-0. .318 lefties batters hit him. .216 righty batters hit him. The 1-0. Strike.
And what that tells you is that he doesn't really have an off-speed pitch or something that's moving away from the left. He's just throw them off balance. It's basically fastball, breaking ball. And if he makes mistakes with the breaking ball, it's going to be hit hard. Of course, a misplaced fastball.
That's a beautifully placed bunt. If he does that more often, he's a .320 hitter. So a bunt single for Gardner.
Well, we were talking about Juan Pierre, who leads the league, leads all active players in bunt hits. Even Juan Pierre would be proud of this one. That is a beauty. All Josh Bell can do is just pick it up, put it in his pocket. Here it is on Yesmo. And of course, once Gardner gets it in play, even in Yesmo, he's pretty fast.
Let's see if he runs. He has 40 stolen bases. That'll bring up Derek Jeter. Derek on this homestand. Remember, he dominates here at home. 4 for 28. 5th bunt hit of the year for Gardner, incidentally. And there's a strike.
You were talking about Gardner and the possibility of a steal. 17 attempts since the All-Star break. He's only been caught one time, and that was in Kansas City by their backup catcher, Brian Pena, on August the 15th.
Jeter, although he's been struggling on this homestand and of late, 5 hits and 46 at-bats, he likes his at-bats of late. Sending line drives to right field. Yesterday's game, he led off the first inning with a double to right center field. That is a Jeterian sort of hit. And that was also his 150th hit of the season. And he's had 15 straight seasons now with 150 or more hits. And that's the longest active streak of any player in baseball, and the longest streak any Yankees ever had. Foul away.
One of the things that on the scouting report with Arrieta, he has no problems getting ahead of batters. He's got a pretty good fastball, but putting them away is a different story. And he's had his problems. All of a sudden, you know, he gets ahead on the count. Next thing you know, the count is 3-2, and his pitch count gets elevated, and he has to leave ball games pretty early.
A 1-2. 2-2. Major League debut was against the Yankees June 10th. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Yankees do have problems the first time they see a pitcher, but they have seen Arrieta. Runner goes, grounded, and knocked down there by Wigington. He will flip to Arrieta, who beats Jeter to the bag for the first out. That was a nice swing and a hard-hit ball by Jeter, but Wigington fought it and knocked it down.
Yeah, Wigington had some nice plays yesterday over at first base, and this one, he knocks it down. And Arrieta showing good speed. It looked like he was frozen for a second, but then beats Jeter to the bag with Gardner on the move. There was no play at second. This is the only chance they had to get it out. And Arrieta showed some wide receiver speed. He's frozen, and now turn on the speed and beat Jeter by a half a step. That was impressive.
Here's Teixeira. Pitch is low, 1-0. Teixeira on this homestand has been on fire, 11 for 25. 440, 1 home run, 7 ribbies, and 6 runs scored on the homestand.
Sitting on 99 runs batted in.
Look at the difference between the first 3 months and the final 3 months. That one is served into left field. It's a base hit. Gardner will round third. He'll hold right there as PA comes up throwing. Ball cut off by Bell. It's a single for Teixeira.
Yankees knocking on the door here in the bottom of the first inning after CC gives up 3. Teixeira with a line drive to left field just in front of PA, and Gardner going to have to stop at third. When you're down 3-0, you don't want people thrown out at home plate.
Here's Robinson Cano. Cano has not had the best homestand. 7 for 27, 4 for his last 24. His average is .319. He has 94 runs batted in. And the .319 is still good enough for 5th in the league. On base percentage of .382. Fouled away.
Noah's out here early today working with Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach, on that special drill that they have.
See Boston leading Tampa Bay 2-0.
Kevin Long out here with several of the hitters, including Cano, who was wearing out the seats in right field.
The 0-1. 1-1. 78% of the time Cano gets in a runner from third base with less than 2 outs. 21 times out of 27 attempts.
He's getting close to his career high in runs batted in, which he set in 07 with 97 runs batted in. So Cano staring at the century mark.
All right, ask Kevin Long why Cano seems so out of sync over the weekend series, and he said, you know what, we were not able to rest him with Alex out. He's played almost every single inning. He said, I think it's fatigue and he needs a day off, and he got one on Sunday. He said, I really think that's all it is. He said, when you're fatigued, you swing at pitches that you wouldn't normally, you reach, you flail. 2-1. 2-2.
And it gets to the point where your swing is a little out of whack and you're fouling pitches off you should hit, or that you have been hitting in the past.
And then when you're tired, you try to generate more bat speed, and you swing a little bit earlier than you would. You don't trust your hands, and it becomes a domino effect where everything starts to fall apart. But with Alex back, now they have the luxury of resting him, and also Jeter has to play every day because Alex was out. The 2-1. Hot shot, base hit to left field. Gardner scores. Moving to second is Teixeira. It's an RBI single for Robinson Cano, and the Yankees now trail 3-1. And that's 27 ribbies in 25 games batting cleanup this year for Cano. Let's see how they pitch to him. Pitch by pitch brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Well, Arrieta gives up the first run of the night on this base hit, eventual hit. Fastball fouled off. Looked like a changeup away for a ball. Fastball misses 2-1 behind on the count to Cano. Pitch up, maybe that was borderline, fouled it off. Man, he can hit anything. That pitch was down, not a bad pitch, and he ripped it through the hole between third and short. And the Yankees are on the board, and Cano has 95 runs batted in on the season.
Here's Nick Swisher.
Hey, Michael, so far the first inning has been nothing to write home about for either CC or Arrieta. Talking to Swish before the game, and he was all fired up about the college football. Home State, West Virginia, they were winners. Ohio State won. That's where he went to school. And for some reason, he was all fired up about University of Florida winning, too. He had a good weekend.
The 2-0. Didn't have a good at-bat there. He hits into a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. But the Yankees get one of the runs back. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 left. We played 1. It's 3-1 Orioles right here on Yes. The first inning, so let's give them some credit and tell you their names. Brought to you by Mercedes. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Pena, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Posada is behind the plate, and Sabathia is on the mound. Josh Paul's going to lead up. Josh Bell. Josh Paul. A couple series back.
I remember him.
Josh Bell, the third baseman for the O's. Let's see if Sabathia has settled down. Sometimes this goes 2 ways, Kenny. And I mean, you've been around the game forever.
Yeah.
The guy could say, I don't have it today, or he could get ticked off about the way he pitched in the first inning.
Well, with CC, I'd rather go the ticked off mood and come back pretty strong for the remainder of the game. Because sometimes you have that one bad inning, it comes early, it takes a little while for a pitcher to settle in. That hasn't been the case with CC most of the time this year. We're used to seeing very good pitching from him, particularly here at Yankee Stadium. But you can have a bad inning, then all of a sudden things start to kick in, and then you shut things down from that point on.
There's that change nipping the outside corner.
Hey, one Bell ringing up another one.
Home plate umpire Wally Bell. And the pitch. Missed outside.
Appears that Bell's going to get a good long look at third base for the remainder of the season. With a chance of solidifying the possibility of having an everyday job next year. Switch hitting. He's got a little power. Still learning the ins and outs of being a major league hitter.
Looked a little sloppy at third yesterday. He was saved about 3 errors by Ty Wigginton.
Yeah. Strong arm, but came up short a few times, and that's why Wigginton had himself a good day. A lot of evaluating going on for these Baltimore Orioles this last few ball games of the year for them.
Swing and a miss. Bell swings through the change. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. Pretty nice night here in New York City, 81 degrees, humidity 49%. The wind out of the south-southwest at 13 miles per hour, and it's partly cloudy. Well, it's nighttime now. You really can't see the clouds. Here is Brian Roberts. Started that first inning with a bloop to center field.
With that hit, he is now hitting 7 straight games. And his 10th for his last 23.
And he's now reached in his past 18 straight, 19 straight.
This is what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do. And that you've had players in that role that were nowhere near what Roberts could do.
Pretenders. They were trying to force people that didn't have leadoff skills into that spot.
They were just keeping it warm till he came back.
Hoping he came back. With backs, you never know. He suffered one of the more horrific injuries we'd ever seen across the street at the old place. He was covering first base on a bunt, and his arm was shattered pretty much. You wondered, would he ever get back?
Yeah, Bubba Crosby.
Yeah, right, got back.
He was covering first on a bunt play, and Crosby went to throw was into the runner. And Crosby just, you knew something immediately was wrong. Dislocated elbow. Torn ligaments and tendons. Delicate surgery. It took him a while to regain the strength. But back and playing. Thanks to modern medical technology.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. He chased a high fastball, went out of the zone for that one for the second out. Third strikeout for Sabathia.
There's the target. He's actually going to miss it, but up and out over the plate, and Roberts couldn't get on top of it. Kind of struck himself out on that. Sometimes a hitter, you can see his reaction. Will see a ball so well because it's up near his eyes. And Roberts is usually more disciplined than that. Struck himself out.
Here's Felix P.A. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball.
I always felt when you're facing the top pitchers, that's when your plate discipline has to be at its best. When they miss, don't go after it. It's hard enough hitting the best pitchers. Make them throw strikes.
Count 1-1. Big cut.
As you watch CC tonight, Michael, we're seeing 93, 91. I don't think he has as good fastball as of yet. It could kick in. Maybe his mechanics are slightly off. That's why he's been around the strike zone, not really peppering it like he usually does.
Can he strike out the side? Almost. PA fouled it off twice. And the 1-2. Line foul.
You know, it's amazing, Michael, that sometimes young players like PA coming up with the Cubs where they thought he was going to be, they kind of handed him the center field job, and it just didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't his time. They bloomed a little bit later here in Baltimore.
1-2. And Andy McPhail, the GM of the Orioles, was with the Cubs, so he knew him.
He's got speed. He throws pretty well. matter of becoming a better hitter. Now, he's been out for a long period of time this year, but his batting average is good. His other numbers are kind of low because of it.
2-2. Squibb toward third, fielded there by Pena, and CC comes back strong. 1-2-3 inning. In fact, he's retired the last 6 in a row. Go to the bottom of the second. Orioles 3, Yankees 1. Enjoy the journey. One more game on the homestand. Longest homestand of the year is tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. Mark that down and join us on Thursday is travel day for the Yankees as they head to Texas. 3 games against the Rangers, 3 big games against the Rays. Then the 16th, another travel day as the Yankees head to Baltimore to face the Orioles. Here's Lance Berkman. It'll be Berkman, Posada, and Granderson against Arrieta, and there's a strike. Arrieta at AAA, 6-2, 1.85. So he was certainly able to get out lefties there. Now, rookie starters against the Yankees this year in 16 starts, 7-6 with a 2.62 ERA. But this will be Andino's second take and the second look the Yankees have at him. The 0-2. Line drive, base hit off the bat of Berkman. He'll round first, he'll stay right there. Berkman's been swinging the bat a lot better. Leadoff single. Let's check out the Orioles defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got PA in left, Adam Jones in center, and Nick Markakis in right. Infield, Bell, Andino, Roberts, and Wigington third to first. Tatum behind the plate, and Arrieta is on the mound. I told you that Berkman's been swinging a hot bat since coming out the deal with that sprained ankle. He's now 6 for 13.
Picked up that base hit on an 0-2 pitch. They used to hand out fines to pitchers that give up hits on 0-2. Now you get reminders. Get a memo.
I'll tell you what, Kenny. That kind of thinking is why baseball games last longer. I never understood, why don't you try to get a guy out on the second on 0-2 pitch? Why would you want to waste a pitch?
No, it's not so much it's how you waste it.
Right, a waste it or a waste.
Yeah, you want to get it close enough to the strike zone that the guy might chase it.
Sometimes it just seems like a hitter knows why. I don't want to give up an 0-2 hit, so it's sky high.
Exactly. That's not pitching. That's just throwing the ball.
The 1-1. There's a ground ball to short. There's one. There's two. Second double play induced by Arrieta. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Here's Granderson. 8 for his last 27. And pitch outside, 1-0. And a strike. Orioles lead 3-1. We're in the bottom of the second. 2-1. 2-2.
Good live fastball, 94 miles an hour.
And the pitch. Line drive right at Roberts. And that'll do it in the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. An 11-pitch inning for Arrieta. We go to the third. Yankees are trailing 3-1. Nick Markakis will lead off. Each team with 4 hits, and each team scored in the first inning. Here in the top of the third, we always speak with either Kimberly Jones or tonight Jack Curry, who is down in the third base camera well, adjacent to the Orioles dugout. And we'll talk to Jack in a sec. And the first pitch is a strike. Jack, I know that you spoke at length today with the Yankee GM Brian Cashman. He was the guy who signed CC Sabathia to the contract. I would assume the Yankee organization is quite pleased with that investment.
No doubt about it, Michael. Cashman is thrilled. He said that Sabathia has given them exactly what they had hoped to get. As Markakis fouls one over my head here. 38-13, Michael. 25 games over 500. But beyond that, what was interesting to me was to hear Cashman talk about the influence CC has had in the clubhouse. He said he has made our clubhouse light and fun. Before he got here, we weren't light and fun.
Pretty interesting. Now, the way that Cashman went at him, he went at him almost like a college recruiter, right?
He absolutely did, and this one's going to roll foul too, Michael. He said that CC hadn't had a conversation, Cashman hadn't had a conversation with CC's wife. So Cashman was at the winter meetings in Las Vegas and said to CeCe, do you think it would help if I come and speak to your wife? And CeCe said, yes, absolutely. I think it would help. That might be the final piece to the puzzle. So, Michael, Brian Cashman told me that he loaded up a bag with Yankee T-shirts and Yankee caps for CeCe's kids, and he basically did approach it as if he was a college coach trying to sign a high school senior. Of course, he also had a paycheck that he could bring with him, which college coaches aren't supposed to do, but we'll leave that discussion for another day. And he said he told himself he wasn't leaving that house without a signature on a contract, which he got.
There's a grounded Pena, and Marquez is out. So what he got him to do, Jack, was sign a 7-year letter of intent.
Yeah, and there was a 161 involved in there somewhere, too, I think.
Now, also, you spoke to Cashman about how the postseason rotation might flush out. So what's he saying?
Well, I tried really hard to get him to talk about the postseason rotation, Michael. Of course, he would only talk hypothetically because he said we aren't there yet. But we all know CeCe will be the Game 1 starter. The Yankees' hope is that Pettit is healthy enough that he can be slotted into Game 2. And then the next 2 starters are going to come from Burnett, Vasquez, Hughes, and Mosley. Right now, I think it's Hughes and Burnett who are in the lead. What was interesting to me, Michael, is he did not include Nova in that equation. When I asked him about Ivan Nova, he said, listen, this kid has only had 3 major league starts. I do not want to put such high expectations on him.
You know what's interesting about that, though? You said that they would probably start Pettit in the second game. And I remember Joe Torre used to always say the most important game of any series is Game 3. And I believe that Pettit started Game 3s last year. Why wouldn't they go with him in Game 3?
Right, this is just a lot of me ruminating from talking to people, but I think if you look at the way now, with Thursday's rehab start having been moved back a day, if Pettit's okay and can go, he could then pitch Tuesday in Tampa, and you could slot him right behind Sabathia.
There's a deep fly to center field that's over the head of Granderson. He'll play it up against the wall as Wigginton chugs into second with a 1-out double. So Wigginton's 2 for 2 against Sabathia, and that breaks a streak of 7 straight retired. Some charity work being done by Jorge Posada. Jack, tell me about that.
Right, today, Jorge Posada, there's a new T-shirt you can purchase at Yankee Stadium. It's called the Hip Hip Jorge 1000 T-shirt. And, of course, it acknowledges Posada getting his 1,000th run batted in earlier this year. But, Michael, I think more important than that is the net proceeds of the sales from this T-shirt will go to the Jorge Posada Foundation. And, of course, most people know that Jorge has a 10-year-old son, also named Jorge, who was born with a condition called craniosynostosis, which affected the young man's brain. He's already had 8 major surgeries. So all of the net proceeds from the sale of this T-shirt will go towards that foundation. And, Michael, this is a happy story for the Posadas, and I know from talking to Jorge earlier this year, he was a proud dad in telling me that little Jorge signed up and played in his first baseball league this spring. Was very excited to come home and tell his dad that he got number 20, just like his father.
I got to tell you one thing, Jack, and it's going to hurt your feelings, but that's what I'm about. As Adam Jones lost one to right field, Swisher is there, and he'll put it away as Wigginton just draws a throw. That at the beginning of when you started to talk about this, we showed Laura Posada, Jorge's wife, holding up the T-shirt. Nobody even heard what you said. They just stared at Laura.
You know what? I can't blame people. Do you want me to say it again? Basically, buy the T-shirt because the net proceeds go to charity, and it'll help a lot of people. And the Posadas, both Jorge and Laura, said that they feel blessed that this has been a part of their life because now they can help other people who maybe don't have the means that they have had to be able to help their son.
And our producer, Frank DeGrace, just showed her again, so everybody just blacked you out again. Unbelievable. Jack, we'll hear from you on the postgame.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Go out and buy that T-shirt. It's for a good cause.
Yes, it is.
And little Jorge is doing very, very well. And that's great news. He really went through a lot, that kid. Tough kid. Nolan Reimold drives one deep to left field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. See ya. A long 2-run home run into the second deck. And it's 5-1 Baltimore.
Well, Reimold flew out to left field his first time up, but this time he gets into one. Let's see what the pitch is here. It looks like it's not a changeup. It's a fastball, but it's right down the middle. And this is his 3rd home run into the second deck. 3rd home run of the year, but this one's only the 2nd one I think we've seen in the second deck in left field.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit. So Sabathia getting hit harder than we have seen in recent memory. 7 hits so far.
Here's another look at the home run. Reimel on the first pitch. Jose Guillen earlier this year went into second deck in left field. Reimel spent most of the year at the AAA, but now a big home run tonight. Young man hit his first major league home run.
That one's popped up
Against the Yankees.
off the bat of Andino. Cano will make the play, and that's going to do it. But 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and 5-1 Orioles. Question is, which TV show will you miss the most? Text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rate supply. Will it be 24? I think John J. Filippelli will miss that. Will it be 2, Law and Order, or will it be 3, Lost? I still miss Friends.
You know, the question is what's replacing those 3?
Well, there's a shorter version called 12, so it's a little...
And found in complete chaos.
That's right. I'll see if the Yankees can make up this 5-1 deficit to the rookie Arrieta. Count 1-0.
Tonight's going to have to be one of those nights where the offense is going to have to pick up CC Sabathia. There have been nights when it's been the other way around.
Shattered bat and a ground ball ashore. Andino. And a scoop by Wigington, who's really flashing some leather in this series.
Yeah, Wigington played a lot at second base in the absence of Brian Roberts early this year. Here it is on Yesmo. As the bat just explodes in the hand of Ramiro Pena. Andino on the run, a little bit short, doesn't bother. Wigington at first base comes up with another one. I think that's at least 4 short hops he's come up with this in this series.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Brett Gardner. He led off the first inning with a bunt single up the third baseline. And there's a strike from Arrieta.
Well, by having that bunt single the first time up, he certainly gained the attention of Josh Bell at third base, who's in on the grass. But if he gets it down where he got the first one down, Josh Bell's not going to throw him out. First one he got the about right in here, about a third of the way down the line, and deadened it.
3-1 to Gardner. Gardner in yesterday's game batted ninth and was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Derek led off yesterday. Gardner in the number 1 spot tonight, the 3-1. Right down the middle, 3-2. It's Francisco Cervelli's view. And now yours. 3-1. Hot shot and caught there by Andino as Gardner hit it hard. 2 outs.
It's a second line out to an infielder by a Yankee hitter. Granderson lined out to second. This time it's Gardner hits one on the nose, but Andino's right there to make the play.
Derek Jeter hit a bullet just to the right of the first baseman Wigginton, who knocked it down, kind of boxed it. The play was actually made by Arrieta, who beat Jeter to the bag just barely. Derek 4 for 29 on this homestand. Right back to Arrieta, and he flips to Wigginton in a 1-2-3 inning for the rookie pitcher for the Orioles. We go to the 4th, 5-1-0s. The New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Who was the last Yankees pitcher to lead the American League outright in wins?
That makes you go,
We'll find out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now, a couple of starts ago, CC Sabathia gave up 5 runs against the White Sox. But the Yankees scored runs for him, and they won that game 12-9. So will the Yankees score the runs they need to get Sabathia back in this game and get him his 20th victory? And he's going to have plenty of tries for the 20th. Last year, he started against the Tampa Bay Rays. His final start of the year with a chance at 20. Didn't pitch well in that game. He's never won 20 in his career. That's one line that's missing off his resume. And CC has insisted, doesn't mean anything to me as long as we win championships. And Joe Girardi said, well, he says that now. He said, but it'll be a nice thing when he's retired to look at the back of his baseball card and see I won 20 this year or that year.
Yeah, when you got your grandchildren sitting on your knee and see that used to be me. Nowadays, you can show them that HD video. You pop in that DVD. Or DVDs might be passe by that time.
Oh, by that time, they'll be mind melding.
Check out this breaking ball. CC might keep this one off the DVD. And it looked pretty good. Didn't get the call.
the 2-2. There's strike 3. And Bell down looking. Bell's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He doesn't agree with that call.
Well, after the previous one, why not? The thing about the one I thought it was better than the first one. The other one's a little better. It was a little higher.
He cut the plate in half. Got the knee?
Yeah, got the front knee.
Here's Brian Roberts. He's 1 for 2. Last time up, struck out, chased a fastball up in his eyes. The 1-0. There's a strike. Pitch is high.
During his college career, Brian Roberts did something that not many players are able to do. When you say that he played for Carolina, you have to say which one, because he actually played for North Carolina, and then he played for South Carolina.
Tipped a lot of people off.
Well, the thing about it was his father was the coach at North Carolina.
Right.
But his father was let go by North Carolina, so he didn't want to stay there, and he just drove a few miles, went down to South Carolina. They're looking for an infielder, and he played there.
Well, if he really wanted to take him off, he should have driven like 5 miles to Durham and just go to Duke. Grounded to first. Teixeira is going to beat Roberts to the bag for the second out.
CC had a rough first inning, a strong second, a rough third, and now he's 1 out away from having a strong fourth inning.
There's Felix P.A. walked and scored the first and then grounded to third in the second. There's a strike. Two-two. Red Sox and the Rays. Bottom of the third. Red Sox won the first game of that series yesterday. So the Yankees didn't lose ground to the Tampa Bay Rays after their loss.
I think Jeff Neiman of the Rays has come off the disabled list and lost 3 straight starts. So maybe he has not found his rhythm since coming back from, I think, a sore shoulder, stiff shoulder, or I think that's what it was.
Shows bunt, takes a strike. Another big crowd here at the stadium looking for the final out of the fourth. And the pitch. Missed outside. You mentioned Jeff Neiman, Kenny, since returning from the DL, 0-3 with a 20.70 ERA. 2-2. Grounded to second. Cano get PA in a 1-2-3 inning. For CC Sabathia, we go to the bottom of the fourth. 5-1 O's. Yankees, it's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Who was the last Yankees pitcher to lead the American League outright in wins? Kenny, do you know?
Should I say Andy Pettit?
Let's see.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, 21 wins, 96. His second year in the bigs. Andy's just looking to dominate Trenton. Or whoever Trenton's playing.
The Fisher
The
Cats.
Fisher Cats,
Yeah.
that's right.
Those weasels.
Count 0-1 to Teixeira, who singled his first time up. Hey, Kenny, birthday wishes have to go out tonight.
You know,
Double birthday wishes.
I saw one of the birthday ladies.
Well, first we have to wish happy birthday to Susan Waldman. Oh, and there's Laura Posada. How convenient. She's all over. Happy birthday to Susan. Swing and a miss. And also, happy birthday to our very own Kimberly Jones, who has a day off on her birthday, celebrating at home. So happy birthday, Kim. Happy birthday to Kim Jones and me.
And me. Isn't that cool?
That's a pretty nice likeness. That's not bad. Good job.
Nice artistry there.
Yeah. Here's Robinson Cano.
You know, a milestone upcoming. His next run scored will be the 500th of his career.
Grounded to third. Bell. 2 outs. That's going to bring up Nick Swisher. You know, when you look at the way the Orioles are playing, when they're 20-13 under Showalter, you really wonder how he was out of the game for 3.5 years. And I did a good job with ESPN. Was actually very good on TV. But how did he not have a job for 3.5 years? It's a question to ponder. That one's popped up. Jones is there, and he'll put it away. And that's an easy 1-2-3 inning. And 6 pitches. Not too bad. We go to the 5th. 5-1-0s.
Sounds like they have an interesting game going on at Fenway Park. And fans, you want to stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Right here, we get ready to go in the top of the 5th inning. The Yankees are down by a score 5-1.
Nick Markakis will lead off against Sabathia. Markakis 1 for 2. I got a piece of Posada.
And Marquez had a hit. He's 1 for 2, as Michael said. And we'll listen to this one. This will make you rethink being a catcher.
Oh. But our buddy John Flaherty says it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he doesn't remember it. The 0-1.
I was saying about Marquez, he is the second leading left-handed hitter in the league against lefty pitching. He's over 340 against lefties with the 1 for 2 tonight. Brennan Bosch, the rookie outfielder for Detroit, is number 1. I looked at tonight; he's hitting 354 against left-handed pitching.
Now, when the Yankees played the O's, Kenny, or the Tigers, I'm sorry, he looked like he was starting to really come down. I thought the league was catching up to him. Maybe he's starting to go back up.
Well, he's one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the series the Yankees played him in Detroit early in the year, when he was awesome.
Yeah. Line drive right at Teixeira. This moment in Yankees history brought to you by Johnny Walker. Looks like it's going to involve Winnie. September 7th, 1985, Dave Winfield steals home and scores the game-winning run on Oakland's Tommy John in a 3-2 win at Yankee Stadium. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Hall of Famer, Dave Winfield.
Yes.
There's Ty Wigginton. There's a strike.
Winfield, one of those players just ahead of A-Rod on the all-time RBI list, which A-Rod is climbing rapidly.
The 0-1. 1-1.
There's Alex, who picked up his 100th run batted into the season. Now has 1,806 in his career.
Now, for those that are wondering, why isn't Alex in the lineup? Everything's fine, not a recurrence of the calf injury. Joe Girardi simply did not want him to play 4 games in a row. And I played the first 2, but he's going to play tomorrow. He didn't want 4 in a row, so he gave A-Rod off tonight. A-Rod tried to politic his way into the lineup, and Girardi said no.
Yeah, with the switch hitters involved for the Yankees tonight, I think it was a good call by Joe Girardi because of the fact, even though A-Rod had a home run yesterday, because of Arrieta's breakdown, his splits. You know, he's very tough on the righties, and the lefties hit Arrieta pretty well. Over 300. So he has, including the switch hitters, 8 left-handed hitters against Arrieta today.
Kenny, you know that I'm not a foodie. What is Alex eating?
Those are those. I forgot what they're called, but they taste very sweet.
They're called get-ups? What are they?
Kumquats?
No.
Not kumquat.
No, they're too small. I wonder. He's devouring them. That's the outer shell.
He's not the only one. A lot of vitamin C involved there. It's some sort of citrus fruit.
Very tiny. It's almost like the size of like an acorn
or a grape or something.
Yeah. Three-2. Grounded to Pena. Boy, he stayed with a very tough hop off the lip of the grass for the second out. They're called Ginnups, I'm told.
Ginnups, huh?
Ginnups.
Here's Pena. Smooth as silk. It's short second and third. And there's the hop Michael was talking about. He stays with it. Throws out Wigginton for out number 2. Called Ginnups? No, that can't be true.
K-Napop? I guess the players call them Ginnups, but they're called K-Napop.
Yeah, okay. I wonder if you eat enough of them, you get into the Ginnups Book of Records.
There's a strike to Adam Jones. That week off really fired you up, Kenny.
You know what? I am going to be fired up when I get to Tampa Bay, too. I'm looking forward to it, aren't you?
That should be great.
It's a big series coming up.
The 0-1. High fly ball, right field. Swisher is there. He'll make the play, and that will do it. 7 in a row for Sabathia. We're halfway through. Yankees are trailing this one 5-1 on Yes.
Well, fans, this Sunday, the man behind the mic is back for another season of Football Sunday with Mike Francesa. Turn to Yes every Sunday morning for a preview of this week's Jets and Giants matchups, plus interviews, analysis, and debate with the callers. All starts this Sunday morning at 9 right here on Yes. And maybe we'll be talking about that man in your picture, Justin Tuck, defensive end for the Giants. Giants getting it on Sunday with the Carolina Panthers. First game of the season.
First regular season game in the new Meadowlands Stadium. And the Panthers embarrassed the Giants to close Giants Stadium last year, so now they get a chance to open it with a win against the Panthers. And then the Jets have the first nationally televised game on Monday from the new Meadowlands Stadium. That's the Baltimore Ravens. Lance Berkman singled in the second inning. There's a strike to Berkman as the Yankees trying to get something going against the rookie right-hander. They're trailing 5-1, bottom of the fifth. Another base hit for Berkman. So he is 2 for 2. He's on first. And we now go to our very own Bob Lorenz in the Yes Network studios for an update. Bob. Bob, and we will keep an eye on that, and we'll tell you every single score change that there is. Berkman's now 7 for 14 since returning off the DL. Here's Posada.
There's an example of the good defensive work by Craig Tatum. Nice stop.
We've been very economical. That was just his 50th pitch.
Yeah, that's usually a problem for Marietta. He's having one of his best ball games as far as pitch count is concerned.
Driven deep to center field. Going back, Jones. Still back. Still back. He can't make the play. It goes up against the wall. Berkman's at third. They're waving him home. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. Berkman's in there. It's an RBI double for Posada. And the Yankees now trail 5-2.
Jorge really got into this one. Out at third of the plate, driven to deep center field. Adam Jones had a shot at it. Turning it on for all he's worth. Reaches out, comes up a little bit short. Then has to play the carom. Then the race was on. Makes a good throw to Andino, who makes a good throw to Tatum. But in the back door is Lance Berkman. He's waiting to see the ball, falls in, and now it's a race for home. Waved home by Robbie Thompson. A little bit of a stumble. Rounding third. There he is in the back door, and the Yankees have their second run.
That's a great slide by Berkman, and he does go behind the tag, and he reaches it. They appealed at third. He did not miss third.
It was the call of the home plate umpire, Wally Bell. There's that little stumble. Oh. That'll cost you points on Dancing with the Stars.
Hits the Granderson is low, 1-0. So the sprained ankle is no more. He was chugging around the bases to score the Yankees' second run as they try to chip away against Arrieta. The 1-0.
Here he is on the back door. Stevie Donahue, cool it off. The engine's running a little hot.
That one is popped up. Shallow center. Long run for Adam Jones will make the play. So one down. That's going to bring up Ramiro Pena. Pena grounded to short. That was in the third. Broke his bat in that at bat. Brand new piece of lumber. And the pitch is a strike. And a strike. Posada leads off second. Jones in center and PA in left, very shallow for Pena, who has some power. He can drive the ball, but they don't think he's going to drive it that way.
You know what? Batting left-hand, he pulls the ball quite a bit. There's Nick Markakis is responsible for a lot of real estate on the other side of second base in the outfield. It's a hanging curveball, and Pena fouled it back. When you look at what Pena's done lately, he's been swinging the bat pretty well. He's got his average well up over 200 now. And And also, he's got 18 runs batted in on 33 hits. That's not bad. He's 10 for his last 22.
1-2.
And this is with sporadic play. It's not as easy to boost your average in these situations where you just, sometimes you come in as a defensive replacement, you get one at bat, get a hit. Keep yourself going. That's not easy to do. Start a day game after a night game, get a couple of hits. Then you sit down for 2 or 3 days.
The 1-2. Foul back.
Swing.
Orioles lead the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And Pena has now hit in his last 6 starts. So trying to make that 7 in a row. A 1-2 pitch. Served to left field. They had him play beautifully. PA right there puts it away. Hardly had to move in for the second out. Brian Roberts talking things over with Posada. So here's Gardner. He has a bunt hit, and then he lined out sharply to the shortstop, Robert Andino. And a strike.
Arrieta's done a pretty good job of getting his breaking ball over tonight, and there are nights when that hasn't been the case. He's become more or less very predictable, falls behind on counts with the breaking ball, and then has to come in. But tonight you see a first pitch curveball for a strike. Has confidence in the breaking ball tonight.
And there's a strike.
Another breaking ball in for a strike.
Arrieta very fidgety on the mound. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and struck him out. So he rebounds from the single by Berkman and then the double by Posada. Posada drives it over the head of Adam Jones, an outstanding center fielder. Then they're off to the races. Here comes Berkman, a pretty slide, and it's 5-2-0s. 2010 postseason and host your group in a Yankee Stadium suite. Joining the excitement as the Yankees continue their quest for a 28th World Championship. Yankee Stadium suites are the perfect entertainment venue with sizes ranging from 12 to 60 guests. Reserve your suite today. Availability is very limited. For more info, call 212-YANKEES, visit Yankees.com, or email suites@Yankees.com. We go to the 6th inning. Nolan Reimold, a home run his last time up, a 2-run shot. Takes a pitch low from Sabathia. 1-0. 5-2, Orioles lead in the 6th. CC trying to do something he's never done before, and that's win his 20th game. Had 19 a couple times. Off speed for a strike. Reimold's home run in the 3rd inning was a blast. It reached the second deck in left field. Kenny, I'm not an architect, but I think the second deck in left field is further reset from the wall than the one in right field.
Yeah, most definitely. It is a longer poke to left field. I mean, we've seen numerous home runs go into second deck and right, but I've only seen 2 in left.
Grounded to 3rd. Pena gobbles it up across the diamond. And they get Reimold for the first out. We always used to debate whether anybody would reach the upper deck in right field at the new ballpark, and it was done. Russell Branyan, who also hit the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. And that does show the second deck is closer. Now, the unreachable territory in the other stadiums seemed to be the upper deck and left, although some did. I remember Cecil Fielder went up there, I think for his 50th home run while he was with the Tigers.
Was it Canseco? B.J. Upton?
One of the most amazing home runs I ever saw at the old stadium, Kenny.
I know what you're going to say. Was
when Derek Jeter went into the upper deck in right field. Yeah. I mean, an opposite field upper deck home run. That was amazing.
That's not the one I thought you were going to say.
I bet you I know which one you thought I was going to say. Jay Buhner's home run?
No, not that one.
Okay. Encarnacion.
Yes.
Into the left field bleachers, yeah.
Whoa, that was smoke. Ramiro Mendoza. El Brujo didn't get it to sink.
It finally sunk into the bleachers.
Oh, my goodness.
And that was pretty much a rarefied real estate. The 1-1. Grounded to Pena. Playing a very clean third base, 2 away.
Now, didn't Jay Buhner's go out by the ambulance in left field? Yeah,
that was amazing.
I saw Dave Winfield hit one out there one time. And I was playing right field that night, and it just took off. And you see those jets take off in LaGuardia or Newark? It looked just like that. Just like it was just going to leave the ballpark.
Like one of your tee shots.
No, those are headed for the trees, unfortunately.
90 pitches for Sabathia. He's trying to make it 20 straight starts of at least 6 innings pitched.
And the pitcher who gave up that home run to Winfield is here tonight. He's in the next booth. Mike Flanagan. It was a rocket. Here's Mike right here.
Gary Thorne is partner. Orioles TV.
They went to the same shirt store, didn't they? The monuments, the plaques on the wall out there at the old stadium were actually in a different spot than they are now. They're way back there in left field.
Right.
And Flanny went out there to see how far it actually went. And he said he looked at all the plaques and they were kind of laughing at him. He'd given up a home run that far. He had some sense of humor. Good pitcher, though. Cy Young Award winner, 1979. 23-6.
Didn't throw that hard, so Winfield provided most of that power.
He smoked it.
There's a strike to Andino. So it's 3-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Now the Yankees have to rally, or we might see something we haven't seen in over a year. CC has not lost a game at home since July 2nd of last year. An incredible run. That's why these 5 runs look so huge with him on the mound here. He knows how to pitch here at the stadium. And the 3-2 popped up. Shallow center. Going back, Cano called off by Granderson, and that'll do it. 10 in a row for Sabathia. Yankees trail 5-2. Time now for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. In part by Resident Evil in theaters Friday, by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. So CC looks like he straightened himself out, retiring 10 straight Orioles, but is it too late? Now the Yankee offense has some work to do. It'll be Jeter, Teixeira, and Cano against the rookie, Jake Arrieta.
Jeter, of any active player, has played the most games against Baltimore, and he also has the most hits. But right now, you're trying to get some base runners. Get something started.
Does that number just shock you as much as it does me, Kenny? 263 for Derek Jeter.
Yeah, and the on-base percentage, too, at the end.
Wow. And when Derek says what he says, when people ask about it, I absolutely buy it with him. He said, are we winning? We have the best record in baseball. We're in first place. As long as that's happening, I'm having fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what he's about.
Yep.
He's about those championship rings.
But it has to leave an emptiness in him. He's not used to hitting 263.
No, I mean, everybody has a certain personal pride that you want to come out here and play well.
Looks like something got in Derek's eye. Fouled away. Do you see anything, Kenny? Because Tino Martinez thought that the swings were still right. John Flaherty said he thinks he's right there. Well, do you see anything?
I think that, sometimes you have to make adjustments during the course of your career because your reflexes just naturally slow down. You get a little older, and right now it seems that at times it swings a little long, and he's a little late.
Fly ball, right side. Marquez runs out of room.
There are ways to quicken your bat up. You start in a different position with your hands. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to do it because you're the one who has to make the adjustments. You know, he can talk to Kevin Long. Kevin Long's the hitting coach, make suggestions. But if the hitter is not willing to do it, it's just not going to happen. So eventually, every hitter has to make adjustments to Father Time.
Somebody told me the other day that Derek has the exact same bat model that he was issued his first day in the big leagues.
Okay.
Do you wonder, do you lighten the bat?
You can do that, but you know, nowadays they all use light bats. You know, how much lighter you want to get? I mean, all of a sudden you're swinging the newspaper up there. You can't do that.
3-2. Grounded softly toward third. Going to be a tough play. It's not going to be a play. It's going to be an infield single for Jeter. Sometimes hits like that get you rolling.
Yes, they do. And Josh Bell's had some tough chances, and this is another one. Chopper. Jeter comes out of the box just fine. And now the race is on. Bell was playing back. Can't come up with it cleanly. And loses all chance. I don't think he was going to get him anyway. Jeter gets himself a base hit.
And a smile. There's Mark Teixeira. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Yankees trailing 5-2.
I think you talk to any third baseman, they'll tell you that's the toughest play. You know, all those hard shots you get down at third base, but that swinging butt where you have to bare hand and throw all in one motion and be accurate to first base with something on it is the toughest play for a third baseman.
The 1-0. 2-0. And now Tatum wants to go out and talk with Arrieta. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Jake Arrieta, a 5th-round draft pick in 2007. There's Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach.
There's a strike. Whatever Tatum said worked.
Didn't give in with the fastball.
Count now 3-1.
Well, 2-0. He threw a changeup for a strike. I don't think he'll do it 3-1 because then if he misses with it, it's like his third best pitch. Then he'll bring the Cano up as a tying run. This is probably going to be a fastball.
Just nipped the outside corner, 3-2.
It was a fastball and hit the corner. He made a good pitch with it. When you're ahead 3-1 and you're a hitter looking to hit something with power, this is not the pitch you're going to swing at. Knee high, just clip the corner for strike 2. You're going to take this pitch.
Let's see if they send Jeter on 3-2. They do. Pitch is swung on and missed. No throw to second. Stolen base for Jeter. So Teixeira strikes out.
You know, when you decide you're going to throw an off-speed pitch 3-2 with the possibility of the runner on the move, it's like you're giving up 90 feet to pick up the out. And it is a breaking ball. Off speed at that. He took something off. Good pitch by Arrieta, who didn't give in. 3-2 with just burning a fastball in there. So he gets the strikeout, his third of the night.
So Jeter's at second, 16th stolen base of the year for Derek. And here is Cano with a runner in scoring position. He drove in a run in the first inning, his 95th of the year. the strike. Good arms all around in the Oriole outfield. So it's no gimme that a single scores Jeter. Felix P.A. in left. Adam Jones in center. Nick Markakis in right. Jones and Markakis have outstanding arms.
Yeah, P.A.'s not bad either. When Raimel was out there early this year, he had a strong arm. Their outfield's pretty good.
It goes in and out of the Yankee dugout. Arrieta has certainly been economical. The most pitches that he's thrown to 21 the previous inning. He's at 14 right now. But the third and the fourth, those help you keep low pitch counts. 9 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Tampa now up 8-2 over Boston, top of the fifth. Boston's kind of put itself in a position where it has to win all of the games that it plays against the teams in front. You can't afford to just take 2 out of 3. That doesn't do enough damage when you're behind by that many. The 0-2. Foul back. Two and a half games, the Rays are behind the Yankees. The Red Sox 9 in back of the Yankees. And the Orioles are 20 behind the Blue Jays, but they were a lot worse. They were 41 games under 500 when Buck Showalter took over. The 0-2. Driven out to left, deep. Going back, PA. On the track, he'll make the play, and Jeter heads back to second.
Gave it a ride. There might be other parks in the league, and I'm thinking of Camden Yards as one. This might have gotten out of the ballpark. Just didn't quite drive it, a little bit underneath it. And PA in the middle of the warning track gets it back in.
So 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Swisher. Yankees are 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight, but they are 0 for their last 5 in these situations. Swisher was rolling, and then the knee acted up, and you can see he's starting to feel for it, and his average down to 291. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, I asked him about it before the game today, and he said he's still not quite 100%, but and then he mentioned the fact who's 100% this time of year. Everybody's got a little soreness someplace or another. It's a long season.
Grounded to short, and Dino. And they waste Jeter's infield single and don't score here in the 6th. They leave 1. We go to the 7th. 5-2-0s. Next poll, once again, the question, which TV show will you miss the most? And you've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you voted. Close. 39% will miss 24. 37% will miss Law and Order. Not that many will miss Lost.
Yeah, just lost him.
Lost. And Sabathia deals a strike to Josh Bell as we go to the 7th on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. 5-7-0 O's, 2-7-0 for the Yankees. Bell's has struck out twice against CC. There's a changeup, 0-2. Driven into right center field. Granderson is on the run. He can't make the play. It's off his glove. Bell will be at second. I guess they'll score it a double, but that's a play that Granderson should have made.
You can see the look on his face as if he should have hauled this one in. Here it is in Yes Mo. Let's see where it hits on the glove. Off the thumb. And then to the ground. They actually kind of...
Wow, you know, an error.
Oh, man. E8.
Bill Shannon, the official scorer, with an E8.
Let's go get the white out. Don't have to reach for this, Quanazal. We're writing too quickly.
Now, I'll tell you something, Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with that official scoring, but that is a tough E8.
Yeah.
That's a tough E8.
Yeah, it is.
And most players would say, how do you get an E8 at home? That one is fouled back on the bunt to 10.
Yeah, running that far to make a play. Here's normal speed. Ball's driven towards the gap in right center.
Wow, that's a tough E8.
Yeah, still a catchable ball. You know, the ball actually hit the thumb, which tells you the glove was maybe a little overextended. But still, he was on the run. You know, most of the times outfielders get errors when they're camped underneath the ball, or they just come to a stop, and then they don't catch it.
Again, I won't argue with it, but most players would say, I'm at home, and I'm not getting that scoring decision at home from my official score. That's what they'd say.
I think if you ask Curtis, he said he should have made the play.
Grounded right side and through for a base hit. Josh Bell will stop there at third as Swisher flips the ball into Teixeira. Second hit for Roberts, 5th hit against the Yankees in this series.
Yeah, he's, would Derek Jeter call him a pain?
Yep.
Well, first of all, he gets the ball to the right side. He was going to move Bell over to third one way or the other, but he gets a bonus and gets it through for the base hit.
Chad Godin getting ready in a hurry, and following him is Kerry Wood. So first and third with nobody out. Tough spot. And here's Felix P.A. Now, does this surprise you, Kenny? They're playing a double play depth. They'll give up a run and surrender to double play.
Well, they're going to rely on their offense.
Wow.
The whole thing, if you bring the infield in, you could be setting up a big inning. You want to avoid the big inning as opposed to giving up one run, as opposed to giving up if a ball sneaks through. Then you get 2 men on, then a bunt or whatever by the Markakis wouldn't bunt. But the fact is you're setting up an opportunity for an even bigger inning.
Wouldn't you say that's pretty lofty goals to say, okay, we'll make up a 4-run deficit?
Well, you're in trouble right now. The Yankees can do it. They're the highest scoring team in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they are having trouble with Arrieta. It's a decision. If they hit it to Pena, they can come home.
Or they hit it to Teixeira, they can't come home.
Right.
But anything, first of all, PA runs pretty well, too, so he might be tough to double.
Count 0-2.
Now, here's where CC has to go for the strikeout. He's 0-2. puts him away on the strikeout, and then the double play could possibly get him out of the inning unscathed. But he's got an even tougher hitter coming up next in Markakis.
But if you do get the strikeout, then you could feel comfortable going back for the double play. You know you're not surrendering a run. The 0-2 high, 1-2. I would guess, Kenny, then from what you're saying, if you had David Price on the mound, you would not give up this run here. If you were posing David Price.
What are you saying? You bring the
top flight pitcher, would you bring the infield in here?
No, I'm not bringing. I'm keeping it back. Go for 2. I'd get the 2 outs.
The 1-2.
Give up the 1 run, thinking that your offense gets you back in the ball.
Even against a top quality pitcher, you do.
Oh, against David Price.
Yeah, against David Price.
That's a different situation.
See, against David Price, I don't think you could do it.
Either way, you're in trouble.
Yeah. That's what he needed. He strikes out Felix PA, so he's halfway there where he wants to be.
That pitch was almost right down the middle. Had something on it. But maybe PA been looking for another breaking ball. This time he got the express right there. Called out on strikes. He guessed wrong.
All right, now they play back at double play depth, and they can get out of the inning without allowing one.
See, one thing about Markakis, though, he hits the ball well to the opposite field. He's done it all season long. He's hit pretty well against CC, too, in his career. Good pitch. Can't bet on it.
Whispers across that corner. The count 0-1.
This is where you have to reach back and make pitches.
5-2 Orioles over the Yankees. We're in the top of the 7th inning. The 0-1. Punched out to left field. That's a base hit. That's going to score Bell. Moving to second is Robertson. RBI single for Markakis. And that's the first time that CC has allowed 6 runs since he gave up that many on May 23rd in Citi Field against the Mets.
I talked about Markakis' ability to hit the ball the other way, and he does it. His second hit to left field tonight.
And that one is going to knock out Sabathia. So he will not get his 20th win tonight against the Orioles. And the Yankees will try to avoid a loss. So Girardi takes the ball. And CC still gets a nice hand from an appreciative crowd. Just didn't pitch that well tonight. 6-2 Orioles lead. Time to go to the bullpen and hold it right there. celebrated on Yes. First at 7, relive the night the Bombers honored their iconic leader with Yankees Classics Farewell to the Boss. And later, a modern-day Yankees great is showcased on Yankeeography, Derek Jeter. It all starts Thursday at 7. It's only on Yes. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, Rethink Possible. And CC Sabathia cannot be happy with the way he pitched tonight. A rare, shaky start. 6 1/3, 9 hits. And as we said, he hasn't lost in Yankee Stadium for over a year. So that's rare in itself. And going for his 20th win, he's not going to get it tonight. He's hoping he doesn't pick up his 6th loss. So Kerry Wood takes over. Those are the numbers, and his ERA continues to dip. Those are the numbers combined with the Yankees and the Indians. Pitch outside. First and second, 1 out for Wood. And he'll try to get Wiggins in here. Wigginton 2 for 3. So it's 6-2 O's. Top of the 7th. Roberts dancing off second. Wigginton fouls it away.
Roberts has stolen 8 out of 10 thus far this year, usually among the league leaders. We told you he's only played 42 games. This is his 43rd game tonight.
Breaking ball strike. These are the numbers that Wood has put together with the Yankees. They're just outstanding. In 14 games, a 0.56 ERA. Opponents at 179 against him. He certainly has fit in here nicely. Solidified the bullpen. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Wigginton for the 2nd out of the inning.
Take a look at this pitch. It puts Wigginton away. Wigginton had a couple of hits earlier. This time couldn't get up and get it. Here it is on Yes Mode. Looks a lot more hittable on Yes Mode.
Still missed it.
Yeah.
Here's Adam Jones. Breaking ball is inside. Adam Jones had one of the more memorable quotes when Buck Showalter became manager. He was manager for about a week. I think he won his first 4 games, and they were playing very well. And Adam Jones said, "We're all afraid. We don't want to mess up." And what Buck has done is instill some accountability.
No more excuses.
And a strike, 2-1.
Jones, like the rest of the team, got off to a very poor start. Then he started to come on. See respectable home run numbers with 17.
Pitch is high. Had a great year last year, but this is not what they expected of him this season.
And made the All-Star team, won a Gold Glove. Good slider. You can see what Christy Mathewson was thinking about when he invented that pitch years ago. He was the first one to throw the slider. Called the nickel curve. Comes up there looking like a fastball. Hitter starts for it, and all of a sudden, whoop, see ya. No, it's not really an actual see ya.
It's no see ya.
Yeah.
Posada wants to talk with Wood.
Yeah, you think about all the pitches that are thrown in baseball, the curveball. Who's the first guy to throw the curve? First guy to throw the knuckleball? Where'd all these pitches come from? You can see a fastball. Just pick the ball up, throw it as hard as you can.
Probably got started somewhere in a wiffle ball game.
You think they had wiffle balls 100-something years ago?
No.
No.
They said didn't have plastic.
No.
The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Well, they invented it for Wood, and he took advantage of it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 huge error, and 2 men left at the end of 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Orioles lead the Yankees 6-2, but we will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
They're down 6-2. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The fans all settling back into their seats following the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. And Lance Berkman had himself a pretty good night. 2 for 2 with a run scored. One of the 2 Yankee runs on the night. He'll lead it off.
Now, Lance Berkman has certainly turned it around since coming up the DL, Kenny. He seems like a different hitter. Very confident up there, especially from the left side. He's 2 for 2 so far this evening. And Kevin Long was telling me, Kenny, that the thing that he, and you can see on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard at 6-2, the thing that he changed with Berkman, Berkman never moved his back foot. And now he just rotates the back foot, and he uses some of the back leg, which he never had. And he said Berkman was very, very receptive to it. Just a kind of a spinning move with the back foot rather than just stay planted.
Well, let's take a look at that rear foot here. That spin move right there at the end.
That little spin move. That one is lined into left center field. Jones can't make the play. It's over his head and goes to the wall. Berkman has himself a double and a 3-for-3 night. He's now 8 for 15 since coming up the DL with the ankle sprain.
Yeah, none of these 3 hits tonight were cheap ones. All hit well by Berkman. Boy, a rocket line drive. It's like a changeup, yeah, but that one's up. And Berkman just hits a rope to straightaway center field. Adam Jones, see the man chasing the ball off the center field wall. There it is. Look at Jones. Good speed, but not enough. 2-base hit for Berkman.
Well, the Yankees like what they see from Berkman. What a big bat that would be down the stretch if he has returned to his power hitting and really influential days with the Astros.
Yeah, the Houston form.
Here's Posada. He drove in Berkman his last time up. That pitch is inside. Still a very good pitch count for Arrieta. Just 89 pitches here in the 7th. And the 1-0. 2-0. .56 strikes, 34 balls. Yankees trying to climb back in this. They trail 6-2.
Looking out towards the Oriole bullpen. Nothing happening as of yet.
Grounded foul. Now the Yankees come back, and should CC not receive the loss, that would give CC 22 straight undefeated starts at home, which would be the longest undefeated streak by any Yankee pitcher at any stadium in franchise history. He's currently tied with Whitey Ford for that distinction, but Yankees have to rally to get him off the hook. Good 2-1. There's a strike, 2-2.
He thought it might have been a little low. We get another look. Certainly borderline, one way or the other. Call strike by Wally Bell.
2-2. Blocked there by Tatum, and the count now 3-2.
To Arrieta's credit tonight, he has not walked the batter. And we told you coming into the ball game, he actually had more walks than strikeouts.
Yankees 2 for 8 tonight. The Orioles have done the job with runners in scoring position. Almost 500, 6 for 13. And the 3-2 pitch. He walked him. So the Yankees have runners on first and second and nobody out. Rick Kranitz going to go out and talk with Arrieta. Let's take a look at the way this game is broken down with the game summary. Yankees 2 runs on 8 hits. They committed 1 big error, 6-9-0 for the O's. Alex was not in the lineup today. No injury, just a day off. They didn't want him to play 4 straight. Playing tomorrow would have been 4 straight. Sabathia, a rare shaky start. 6 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. And Nolan Reimold had a long home run, a 2-run shot into the second deck in left field, and that one came in the 3rd inning.
You know, Arrieta and Tatum there, maybe a little too cute on the 3-2 pitch to Posada. And what I mean is he threw him a 3-2 changeup. If he gets it over, it looks good, gets Posada looking, it looks good. But the fact is he walked him on his third best pitch to bring up a guy who's capable of hitting the ball out of the park to bring the team within one run. You're trying to keep runners off base. That's why I thought he should have gone with a fastball.
Now Matt Albers and the lefty Hendrickson warming. And that, by the way, was Arrieta's first walk. And here is Granderson. Granderson probably wants to hit a ball to the moon right now to make up for the error in center field. So far, Curtis is 0 for 2. He lined out sharply to Roberts and then flied out to center. The 1-0. High fly ball. Didn't get the moon. That ball might drop in, and it does. But Posada is caught on the force. He was caught in no man's land. He had to hold up. Thought the ball was going to be caught, so they escaped further trouble there. It would have been a mess with bases loaded, nobody out.
I'm not sure why Adam Jones did not make this play off the heel of Andino. He had the tougher play. That ball was up there for quite a while to be caught by the outfielder who's coming in. And you could see Andino looking to see where he is. Now he realizes he's in no man's land. And Posada could only go halfway. And they're lucky the ball didn't get far enough away from one of the three fielders out there, and they can get the force.
So the force is 8-4. Granderson does not get a hit. It's simply a fielder's choice. And Berkman moves to third. And they're going to send up Alex Rodriguez to pinch hit for Ramiro Pena. And he is not going to face Arrieta as Showalter quickly goes to the mound. And he's going to signal for the right-hander, Matt Albers. So Arrieta does a good job. He leaves with runners on first and third and one out. So it's going to be Albers against A-Rod when we return. Yankees trying to climb back into this one, 6-2. They're losing. Brought by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. So Jake Arrieta is done, 6 1/3, 8 hits, 2 runs, but the runners on base are his responsibility. Just 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He threw 96 pitches. And Showalter wants to bring in a fresh arm. He brings in Matt Albers to face A-Rod. A-Rod 1 for 6 lifetime against Albers. Those are the numbers for the Orioles' new right-hander. How about this stat? A-Rod plays every day. Doesn't pinch hit. So when he does pinch hit, he's not good at it. He's 0 for 10 lifetime pinch hitting with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, pinch hitting is an acquired taste. I don't think I was very good at it either, to be honest with you.
First and third for A-Rod. 1 man out. A-Rod drove in 2 runs yesterday, 100 for the season. Became the first man in big league history to drive in 100 or more runs in 14 seasons. First time ever. And he's tied with Jimmy Fox and Lou Gehrig as the only major leaguers to drive in 100 or more runs 13 straight seasons. Count 2-0.
You know, Michael, everybody has a tendency with A-Rod to talk about the all-time home run record, which he does have a chance to break. But he also has a chance to break the all-time run batted in record, which is held by Hank Aaron at 2,297. A-Rod is now within 500. 491 runs batted. He's got 1,806 career runs batted in. So I think that bears watching as well.
Line drive, knocked down by Bell. And they get the force at second. The runner had to hold up at first, Granderson, because it was a line drive. So A-Rod hit the ball as hard as you can hit it. But again, the Yankees don't have much fortune here, and they get the force at second, the Orioles do.
It's twice the ball's been not handled by the Orioles. This is a rocket off the bat of A-Rod. And Bell knocks it down, but to the Orioles' fortune, it goes to Andino, gets the force on Granderson at second. Berkman has to hold at third. Both of them not sure the ball is going to be caught or not. And Andino quickly on the spot gets the force at second on Granderson. So he has to hold up. Now the ball breaks away, but he doesn't have time to get to second base. And Berkman has to hold at third.
I was going to bring up Gardner.
That goes 5-6-4.
So now the frustrating part for Arrieta, just being a spectator. Count 2-0. Gardner gets on, Jeter gets up, and he comes up as a tying run. The 2-0. There's a strike. Gardner, a bunt single in the first, lined out in the short in the third, struck out in the fifth. Count 2-2, and Gardner does not like that call by home plate umpire Wally Bell.
Let's check out the glove of Tatum. Does he move it towards the... Yeah, that's a little outside. When you see the catcher move the glove away from the plate and then kind of bring it back, good frame job.
The 2-2 pitch. Chopped towards second. Roberts fields, and they just get Gardner for the final out of the 7th inning. So the Yankees had opportunities, but they didn't have much luck. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 8th, 6-2 O's.
Stage premieres on Yes. First tonight after the post-game U.S. Open and Wimbledon tennis champ John McEnroe sits down to talk about his memorable career. And tomorrow at 10 o'clock, controversial Cowboys Hall of Famer Michael Irvin joins the candid conversation as GMC presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. That's only on Yes. Busy, busy, busy.
Both of those shows, you definitely want to tune in for them. McEnroe is very open about a lot of things, and Irvin cried a couple times. Top of the 8th inning, Orioles lead the Yankees 6-2.
You brought tears?
Yes, I did. I think his circumstances brought tears. Chad Godin, the new pitcher for the Yankees, deals to Nolan Reimold, and there's a strike. Now, strangely, the Yankees move Eduardo Nunez in at third. So, if that spot comes up again and Alex Rodriguez has a chance to win the game, he gets one at bat. So, they say that there's nothing wrong with him physically and he's going to play tomorrow. You would wonder why he couldn't play 2 innings at third base and possibly have a chance to win the game. I'm sure that Joe Girardi will be asked that, and we'll have it on the post-game show as Reimold grounds out to Teixeira. It's Craig Tatum. 1 for 3. Swing and a miss.
Good slider. You know, so when you look at last inning for the Yankees, the way the ball was flying around and they couldn't get a run out of it, you begin to wonder if maybe the planets are aligned the wrong way tonight.
Oh, and 2.
Ball that's dropped in short center field, but not far enough away from the defenders that they can't get a force. And another rocket off the third baseman. The ball rolls to the shortstop, and he gets a force. And what looked like a promising inning because of those 2 plays snuffed out.
Yeah, everything that could go against the Yankees went against the Yankees that day. Ground ball off the broken bat, fielded by Jeter. Nice backhanded scoop by Teixeira for the second out. Traveling this season? Well, take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So 2 down, that's going to bring up Robert Andino. And Godin deals. Strike. If you just joined us, Sabathia started, gave up 2 runs, checked that 3 runs in the first, 2 in the third, and then an unearned run in the 7th. And he's trailing 6-2, so are the Yankees, and in danger of losing his first game at the stadium in over a year.
Michael, you see the picture of Andino on the scoreboard there?
Now I do.
It looks like he just came from the dentist, doesn't it?
Or like he's really happy.
Oh, yeah. We're happy to be here. Must have been just after he got the notice he was getting called up to the big leagues.
The 0-2 swung in and foul tipped. Got a piece of the umpire, Wally Bell.
Right off the chest protector. You heard it.
And the 0-2. Swung on and missed. That's an impressive 8th inning for Chad Godin as he retires the Orioles in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees down by 4. We're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Adam Jones, number 2, Nolan Reimold, number 3, Jake Arrieta, and number 4, Lance Berkman. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. New shortstop for the Orioles is Cesar Estouris, and Dino is done for the night. Albert's still in there. It'll be Jeter, Teixeira, and Cano. Yankees down by 4. And there's a strike. Derek's 1 for 3. His last time up, a slow roller to third. He picked up a single. 6-9-0, leading 2-8-1. Yankees trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak after having won 8 in a row. That was their longest winning streak of the year. Now, the Orioles, over the weekend, they took 2 out of 3 from Tampa. So they will have the opportunity to play the role of spoiler down the stretch. And I asked Buck Showalter today, I said, is that something that you tell your team? Let's be a spoiler. Let's make it tough for people. He goes, no. That's the wrong incentive for a guy to play hard. He goes, we want to get into that position where we're competing for a championship or a pennant. He goes, that shouldn't be the thing that makes people play hard. You should play hard because that's your job. You should want to win every game because that's your job. He said, maybe playing in front of big crowds will help them play better. He said, but that's not our motivation. That shouldn't be their motivation.
Well, if they win this game tonight, it'll be 4 in a row over the 2 top teams with the best records in baseball.
Look at the AL East since Showalter returned. The Yankees and the Orioles would be tied for first. Rays and the Red Sox tied for second, and the Blue Jays at 16 and 15. High fly ball, right field. Markakis makes the play. Well, let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Brad Bergeson goes for the O's, 6-10, 5.47. Ivan Nova for the Yankees, 1-0, 2.89. Our coverage is going to start at 12:30 with the pregame show right here on Yes, and the first pitch should be 1:08. So remember that tomorrow is a rare Wednesday matinee. Here's Mark Teixeira. Count 1-0. Also, we said yesterday that Buck had told the media that he hopes that a team clinches against the Orioles and celebrates in front of them so that his team could learn from that. And I asked him about that today. Slow roller toward first. Wigginton flips to Albers, two-way. And he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. That was misinterpreted. He goes, no, I never said that. He goes, I don't want somebody to clinch against us. I said that they could get something positive out of it if it does, in fact, happen. To watch people celebrating in front of you and you know then what you're playing for in the future. He said, but I don't want anybody to beat us and then celebrate in front of us. I'm not rooting for it, but I'm saying that there's something positive that could come out of it if it does happen.
Yeah, I understand his point. I think I mentioned yesterday it happened to me early in my career, and I just felt like that's what you're out here for.
Here's Cano. Rocketed foul.
And just hoping I'd be on a team that eventually would jump up and down, clinching something. You know, when you do it on the other team's field, that really hurts. That really hurts them.
Chopped up the middle, fielded there by Roberts. He fires to first, and Albers works a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Let's go to the ninth here at the stadium. 6-2 O's. Like cold hard blast, Kenny.
Well, it came in the third inning, the only home run of the game, and Nolan Rimo, first pitch he saw, he drills something on the inner third of the plate and just lifts it into the second deck in left field. A prodigious blast.
Josh Bell fouls back Godin's offering. Count 0-1. 6-2 Orioles. I got a piece of Posada. Count 1-1.
Josh Bell, a switch hitter. He's been much better from the right-hand side. All three of his home runs have been hit right-handed. And of course, he's had almost 3 times as many at-bats left-handed.
1-1. Broken bat, grounder right back to Godin. One away. Hey, you got to stick around a little bit longer for the WB Mason postgame show featuring comprehensive highlights and analysis from this game against the Orioles. Plus, a look at the big matchups around the majors and how they affect the playoff races. It's the WB Mason postgame coming up after the last out. Only on Yes. You get Lorenz, you get Curry, you get all the info you need. And Singleton and Kay will make a cameo.
Yes, we will.
Here's Brian Roberts, 2 for 4 tonight with a run scored. Pitch inside. And the pitch. Grounded to short. Jeter, a worm burner. And goes 2 away. Godin looks good. 5 in a row. Throwing strikes.
You know, Michael, I knew I had written down somewhere who is credited with throwing the first knuckleball in Major League Baseball. And I wrote it down, and it was a pitcher called Lou Hicks Morin with the 1906 Phillies. And it was either him or Eddie Seacott of the 1908 Chicago White Sox who started throwing the first knuckleball. So we already talked about Christy Matheson with the first slider. I don't know a curveball. Fastball was the first guy ever threw a pitch. Whatever his name was.
Just picked it up and threw it.
Throw it as hard as he could.
Rock.
Yeah, that's right. Some caveman. And he threw the first fastball ever.
Chopped right back to Godin. And he does very, very well. 6 up and 6 down. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Is there pie in the future? Great partnerships are built on trust. At G Capital, we prove that every day.
Well, let's go back to the 7th inning, and there's Andino to Jones to Roberts for the force. Then Alex Rodriguez with a shot off the glove of Bell. Goes to Andino, then goes to Roberts for the force. Those are our GE partner players. Multiple partners involved for the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, the Yankees are going to have to rally if they want to bail out Sabathia and keep his non-losing streak going here at Yankee Stadium. Well, I skipped his first day of school to spend my birthday with me and the Yanks. Little truant. Yeah. I guess it's one of those night schools he goes to. Mark Hendrickson will take over. Well, happy birthday to that young man. In yesterday's game, Koji Uehara closed the game, but this isn't a save situation. Maybe Showalter's trying to mix and match. So they got the big left-hander against Swisher, and then he's going to turn Berkman around to the right side. Swisher is 0 for 3. Hendrickson deals. Strike. Tampa Bay now leads Boston 14-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Missed outside. So if these scores hold up, then the Yankee lead a game and a half over the Rays. Alfredo Simon warming for the Orioles.
Henderson been doing a good job of late out of the bullpen.
9 of his last 10 appearances have been scoreless. Count 2-2.
Nickname on the team is Smooth, the Big Smooth, 6'9".
The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Off speed. Swisher down on strikes. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees and the Orioles are back here at the stadium for the finale of this series. Complete coverage will start at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Ken Singleton and I are back with all the action in the Bronx. Orioles-Yankees tomorrow at 12:30. It's only on Yes. Here's Lance Berkman. What a night for him. 3 for 3. 3 bullets, 2 singles and a double. And a run scored. High fly ball. Left center. PA makes the play, and the Yankees are down to their final out.
The Oriole bullpen came in yesterday's ball game and worked 3 innings without giving up a hit. It was Albers, Johnson, and Uehara. And tonight, Albers again worked an inning and 2/3 without giving up a hit, and Hendrickson here has gotten the first 2 hitters out in the 9th. So the Oriole bullpen, first 2 games of this series, really doing a good job. And that had been a weakness during the early part of the season.
Count 0-1 on Posada. 1 for 2. RBI double, a walk. Wrapped into a double play. The count now 0-2. Swings through a change. And the 0-2 pitch. 1-2. This one has not been picture perfect at all for the Yankees. Count 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. This should do it. Ground ball is short. Is Torres. And the Orioles have taken 2 in a row against the Yankees as the Yankees in the 9th inning go down in order. Showalter takes 2 in a row from Tampa Bay and now 2 in a row from his former team, the Yankees. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. In all likelihood, Tampa Bay is going to gain a game on the Yankees for the first time since August 23rd. And this series loss ends a string of 4 straight series wins here at home. So the Orioles win 6-2. We'll come back and wrap it up in the postgame after that.